Laterally is a tech career acceleration platform, and I'm building in public here. So I'm going to walk you through my growth metrics and then the decision to introduce ad spend and why I don't want to introduce it just yet. By the way, if you're interested in accelerating or starting a career in tech, you can sign up for free at laterally.io. So here you can see I've had 4,000 active users in the past 2 years. I started collecting metrics basically in like mid-July 2023. So 2023 to 2024 is the dotted line, and then in the forefront, the solid line is 2024 to the present day, 2025 April. And you can see that I had kind of steady state growth in late 2023. So it ticked up and then it kind of plateaued around that 200 mark. And so I thought I was going to be in a stable state where I could introduce ads and measure the impact of the ads. But then I had some rocket growth and a huge crash, and I realized I was not in a steady state yet. So at that point, and that would be around August 2024, I didn't want to introduce ads yet because if I'm not in a steady state, it's hard to measure with reliability, with confidence. It's hard to measure the return on investment to my ad spend. So this traffic is completely organic and largely social media content driven. Why did I have that jump and crash? A lot of this is driven by the algorithms and by the popularity of the topic. So I teach on tech and breaking into tech and upskilling in tech, and it got really, really popular and then really, really unpopular there. So that's a bit of a hype cycle boom and bust that you're observing there. So despite the boom and bust, a relatively consistent 103.79 active user growth year over year, so basically doubling each year, and a huge amount of growth in the December 2024 to present day timeframe. So here's a look back on the previous month. And so this is looking back from April 28, 2025, that's today. And so 4K active users over the past 2 years, but 1K active users over the past month. And you can see this is pretty spiky. So an event on the 12th, I had a talk at interviewing.io. And then recently I had a really good popular stream so that I set a high watermark of 180 active users on a single day in April 25th. That was a day, I think I did 2 or 3 streams that same day and they went pretty well. And so this is why I don't want to introduce ads yet, because if I introduce ads, how do I correlate the impact of the ads? If I have a third spike, then I can measure kind of the organic spikiness. With 2 spikes only, I don't actually know, is the next spike going to be under 180 or over 180, right? Identify a constraining factor, then I can do a difference in difference and understand the ad spend premium. So that if the next record is like 190, then I'll see a diminishing return on the spikes from like 120, 180, 190. We see that we're hitting a limit there. But if the spikes continue to increase, maybe it's 120, 180. Where's the next one? Is it going to be 240? That would be a linear increase. Or is it going to be 300, like a non-linear increase? So if I'm in my bag and seeing non-linear increases, I don't want to introduce ads right now because I might confuse the ad as the root cause of the nonlinear increase. Does that make sense? But I don't want to attribute nonlinear increase to ads if it's really just organic growth. Like maybe the tech topic is trending once again, which actually. So basically, I don't want to introduce ads until I have one more spike and I can identify the direct, like 1 to 3 more spikes actually, but at least one more so that I can determine with some accuracy, are we going linear, diminishing marginal return, or increasing marginal return on organic effort. And so I need a minimum of 1 spike to determine that shape. But 2 or 3 would give me even more confidence because if you have 5 points on the curve, right, it's just a matter of more confidence at that point. But basically somewhere between 1 and 3 more spikes. And then I'll be able to introduce ads and identify a lift, both to the baseline. So if you eliminate the spikes, you can see this baseline growth trend, which seems to be like around doubling per year. It could be ticking up more than that. So there's the baseline growth, but then there's also the spike growth. And I want to be able to measure the premium at both points. So hope this helps. Follow for more in my building in public journey. You can also check out laterally.io and join our growing community for tech career skills. We got hard skills, soft skills, interviewing prep, job search, all of the above.